Peabo Bryson and Roberta Flack, two legendary voices who created magic together. But as the world mourns the passing of Roberta Flack, shocking details about her past are coming to light. Was her ex-husband the real villain in her life? And what does Peabo Bryson have to say now that she's gone? You won't believe what he just revealed. Stay tuned, because this changes everything. Roberta Flack's passing has left the music world in mourning, a woman whose voice could touch souls and whose lyrics could break hearts. Flack was more than just a singer. She was a storyteller, but as tributes pour in, a surprising revelation has surfaced. Peabo Bryson, her longtime duet partner and close confidant, has finally broken his silence on the truth about their bond. For years, fans speculated about their relationship. Was it just musical chemistry, or was there something deeper? And now, with Roberta no longer here to share her side, Peabo's words carry even more weight. But what's truly shocking is his revelation about Roberta's ex-husband. Could he have been the real villain in her life? What role did he play in the struggles she faced behind closed doors? In this video, we'll uncover Peabo Bryson's most revealing statements about Roberta Flack, the truth about their connection, and the hidden battles that Roberta faced, battles that many never knew about. And trust me, what you're about to hear will change everything you thought you knew. For decades, Peabo Bryson and Roberta Flack were the voices behind some of the most unforgettable duets in R&B and soul music. Songs like "Tonight I Celebrate My Love" became anthems of love and passion, making fans wonder if their connection was more than just professional. The way they sang together, the chemistry on stage, and the deep emotions they poured into every performance, it all felt too real to be just an act. But behind the scenes, their bond was more complex than many realized. Peabo Bryson, known for his velvety voice and romantic ballads, often spoke highly of Roberta, calling her one of the most brilliant and influential artists he had ever worked with. Their partnership wasn't just about music. It was about mutual respect, shared struggles, and an unspoken understanding. However, there was always a shadow lingering over Roberta's life, one that Peabo rarely addressed until now. According to sources close to the late singer, Roberta endured a difficult marriage that left emotional scars. While much of her private life was kept away from the public eye, those who knew her best whispered about the challenges she faced behind closed doors. And Peabo, as someone who was by her side through pivotal moments in her career, saw it all unfold. In a recent interview, Peabo made a rare and heartfelt statement about Roberta's past, hinting at the struggles she endured in her personal life. He described her as a woman of incredible strength, but also as someone who carried deep wounds from her past relationships. Though he stopped short of naming names, many believe he was referring to Roberta's ex-husband, Steve Novosel, a renowned jazz bassist. Their marriage was short-lived, and little was ever publicly discussed about why they parted ways. But behind the scenes there were whispers of tension, emotional strain, and an unspoken burden that Roberta carried long after the relationship ended. Some insiders suggest that this marriage played a role in shaping Roberta's cautious approach to love and trust, something that Peabo Bryson would have witnessed firsthand. So was Roberta's ex-husband the real villain in her life? Did her failed marriage leave her emotionally guarded, preventing her from finding true happiness, even with Peabo? And more importantly, did Peabo and Roberta ever have a deeper relationship that was kept from the public? This is where things take a surprising turn. Peabo's next words revealed something no one saw coming. As Peabo Bryson continued reflecting on his relationship with Roberta Flack, his words took a more somber and reflective tone. He spoke of her as a woman who bore an immense weight on her shoulders, not just as an artist constantly under public scrutiny, but as a person who had endured heartbreak in ways the world never knew. For years, Roberta was seen as a strong, independent figure, a woman who commanded respect in a male-dominated industry. But behind that grace and confidence was someone who had been deeply wounded by personal betrayals, failed relationships, and the pressures of fame. Peabo hinted that much of her pain stemmed from a past relationship that had drained her emotionally, a relationship that many suspect was her marriage to Steve Novosel. Although Peabo never outright accused Novosel of wrongdoing, he made it clear that Roberta's past experiences with love left her hesitant to fully open up again. According to Peabo, she was someone who loved deeply but guarded her heart fiercely. Ever had a romantic relationship beyond the music? The unanswered question, did Peabo and Roberta ever love each other? Their chemistry was undeniable. Every time they performed together, the passion in their voices made audiences feel like they were witnessing two people in love. But in reality, things were much more complicated. Peabo confessed that while their bond was deep and filled with admiration, there were always boundaries. Boundaries that may have been put in place because of the scars Roberta carried from her past. At times, Peabo seemed to hint that their connection could have been something more if circumstances had been different. He recalled moments of vulnerability when Roberta would confide in him about her fears, her doubts, and the emotional pain she never allowed the public to see. He described her as someone who, despite all of her success, never fully allowed herself to trust love again. But here's where it gets even more heartbreaking: Roberta's final years. As Roberta's health declined, she became even more reclusive. The world was shocked when it was announced that she had been diagnosed with ALS, a cruel disease that slowly stripped her of the very gift that defined her, her voice. People revealed that in her final years, Roberta found solace in the music they had created together, often reminiscing about the moments they shared on stage. But what truly struck Peabo the most was her lingering sadness over the love she never got to experience fully. Peabo admitted that one of the most painful things about losing Roberta was knowing that she carried certain regrets about love, about trust, and about the past she could never quite escape. Whether or not her ex-husband was truly the villain in her story, one thing is clear: Roberta Flack's life was filled with beautiful music, but also silent heartache. And as Peabo's voice trembled while speaking about her, one thing became undeniable: his love for Roberta Flack, whether romantic or not, was real. And now, with her gone, he carries the weight of the words he never got to say.